place.
Tonight, the shock death of Melbourne music industry legend Michael Gudinski. Tributes from the world's biggest stars. Also, Victoria ramps up the COVID vaccine rollout, our biggest day of injections so far. Victorians facing a new tax as Daniel Andrews commits a blank cheque to radical reforms to fix our mental health system. A new twist in the Karen Rostevsky case, laws to stop her killer husband from being buried alongside her. And fresh health concerns for Prince Philip, moved to a new hospital.
Live from Melbourne, 7 News with Peter Mitchell starts now.
Good evening. Stars across the world are paying tribute to Melbourne music industry icon Michael Gudinski after he died unexpectedly last night. The 68-year-old is being remembered as an industry giant who helped put Australian music on the map.
As he had all his life, this was Michael Gudinski, starting a new year passionately promoting Australian music.
We are back. And music's back.
Son of Russian immigrants, the boy from Melbourne brought the world's biggest bands to Australia and turned Aussie acts into global stars. Jimmy Barnes was one of them, today visiting his former manager's Toorak home after hearing the news that shocked the music world. Paying tribute to his friend online, today the heart of Australian music was ripped out. Employees at Frontier Touring were reeling, so were his artists.
It's only a number of days since the last time I spoke to him. So to wake up this morning and get this news, it's been a real shock.
His family says the 68-year-old died in his sleep last night, a suspected heart attack after recently suffering a fall. This was just last Thursday, backstage at a Midnight Oils concert in Sydney.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a warm round of applause for Mr. Michael Gudinski and Mushroom Records.
Michael Gudinski built an empire that began with Mushroom Records in 1972 at the age of 20. He signed Kylie Minogue to his label after seeing how big Neighbours was in the UK. She wrote Legend, Legacy, Love, a titan of the music industry, one of a kind and forever family to me. My heart is broken and I can't believe he's gone. The pair reunited in January in Mallacoota for a concert promoting regional tourism.
Thank you so much, stranger.
Michael Gudinski was always ready to lend a hand. He helped organise the sound relief concerts in 2009 for fire and flood victims. Even yesterday, he worked on a Good Friday appeal concert.
He was a champion of Victoria and he was a champion of creative talent in this country, and he was a champion for others.
He was more than a tour promoter for so many music superstars. Good mate Ed Sheeran posted a photo of the pair with the words, "I'll miss you, mate." Bruce Springsteen wrote, Michael was first, last and always a music man, and he had never met a better promoter in 50 years of touring. The promoter lured stars like the Rolling Stones and Frank Sinatra to Australia.
To be honest with you, Frank Sinatra was exactly what you would have expected him to be at that stage of his life, and he was cranky Frankie, let me tell you.
Gudinski loved to party and saw the sun come up too many times to remember.
You just live in the dream.
He part-owned 3 Melbourne Cup winners, most recently last year's Twilight Payment. His beloved St Kilda Footy Club is mourning the loss of an Australian music giant and lifelong saint. His passion for music and life was infectious to everyone who knew him.
He was incredibly loyal, particularly to his acts. You know, and he'd go that extra mile all the time.
Michael was a towering figure amongst us all.
Michael Gudinski will leave a huge legacy, but now, sadly, like a huge black hole in the industry, because he was kind of very much the heart and soul of this business.
Michael Gudinski was 68. Mike Amor, 7 News.
The loss of a legend indeed, and Michael Gudinski could be laid to rest with a state funeral. Melina Saris, it's being considered by the state government.
Yes, Mitch, Premier Daniel Andrews describes him as a dear friend. He says there will be an announcement soon on how best to celebrate his life, and that could include a state funeral. There have been a number of high-profile visitors to the family home in Toorak throughout the day, including a devastated Jimmy Barnes, former Collingwood President Eddie Maguire and trucking boss Lindsay Fox. Michael Gudinski was working right up until his death. There were no signs of recent health issues. Mitch.
Melina Saris in Toorak, thank you. The Australian Defence Force is being recruited to assist with the vaccine rollout, helping to get injections to our most vulnerable. The program is now picking up pace, with Victoria recording its biggest day of doses so far.
A new and vital role for our police. This is the first stage in the vaccine rollout for our law enforcers.
I've got a young family at home. If I've got this vaccine now, I feel safe going home to them and out in the community in general.
It's extra protection for those most in need. These police officers will soon be deployed to the hotel quarantine program.
Gives me a lot more confidence, being a frontline worker and working in some of those hotels.
Some police involved in hotel quarantine are yet to receive the jab, part of the state government's self-described slow and steady approach.
You've got to get this right. You've got to do it properly, and we've got commitments by the end of March. Different phases, and we will meet all of those, we'll honour all of those.
That commitment to 40,000 doses in 4 weeks has been stepped up. 1,156 people received their first shots yesterday, Victoria's biggest day of vaccinations so far, more than a fifth of the total number, more than a week into the program. A snap decision by Canberra to add some military muscle to the cause. ADF personnel will be used to help deliver vaccines to aged care in regional and remote areas.
It started in a slow, careful way. And, this is precious stuff. We don't want to be wasting it. We want to do it properly, and we've got to do it as safely as we possibly can.
Unlike police and paramedics, firefighters have been excluded from the first phase of vaccinations, but that may change. The United Firefighters Union has today written to the federal government saying fireys need to also be urgently vaccinated to protect the community. As Victoria recorded another donut day with 0 new cases, Queen Victoria Market reopened all stalls after it was caught up in our most recent COVID cluster. Dozens of workers who've been forced into isolation are now back at work.
This is a great platform just to reassure our customers we're open, we're here.
And Cameron Bowe is at State Parliament this evening, where anti-vaxxers are expected to join a protest. Cameron, there's a big police presence there tonight.
Mitch, police have surrounded Gordon Reserve here, just beside State Parliament. This is now the focus for public order when it comes to COVID-19. They're here for a planned protest action by the Reignite Democracy Australia group. They're opposing the laws that will extend the state of emergency. That's expected to be passed tonight. Now, there's a few dozen protesters who have rallied to this action here tonight. At this stage, they're well and truly outnumbered by police, Mitch.
Cameron Bowe in the city, thank you. Victoria's state of emergency is set to be extended for the entire year after the Andrews government secured a deal with the crossbenchers. It's agreed to a Greens demand to review and reduce lockdown fines for the young.
People lumped with fines that they haven't got the ability to pay. Young people from low-income backgrounds disproportionately impacted by these fines.
The extension, which gives police additional powers, is expected to be passed tonight. The minister at the centre of historic rape allegations is set to reveal his identity in a bid to clear his name. He's planning to go public as early as tomorrow after police declared they don't have enough evidence to proceed with the case.
In the 4 days since the anonymous rape claims were first aired, ministers have been pounded with the same questions.
Have you asked him if he denies those allegations?
Yes, I have, and he absolutely does.
Should the person who's at the centre of these allegations come forward?
Would you like that minister to come forward and address them publicly so as to clear the cloud that now hangs over all male cabinet ministers?
Former Liberal Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has helped lead the charge.
I think for the sake of his colleagues, the government, everybody, he should front up and state who it is.
And now 7 News understands the minister intends to do that tomorrow, fronting the cameras to make a full statement, revealing himself as the target of the accusations, denying them strenuously. After New South Wales Police, who had been investigating the claims, released a statement today stating there is insufficient admissible evidence to proceed, declaring that the matter is now closed. I'm told the minister is preparing to stay at tomorrow's news conference until all questions are exhausted, wanting to free himself and his 15 male cabinet colleagues of suspicion and end accusations that Scott Morrison is protecting him. The woman from Adelaide claimed the rape occurred in Sydney in 1988. She reported it to New South Wales Police last year but did not make a formal statement. She reportedly took her own life last June. Today, Malcolm Turnbull questioned that.
It said that she suicided. Did she?
Asking why she would kill herself.
I have a question mark in my own mind about the timing of it, because the timing seems, counterintuitive.
He wants a coronial inquiry. Mark Riley, 7 News.
Daniel Andrews has committed a blank cheque to mental health reforms after a landmark royal commission. The Premier is promising to implement all of the recommendations with a new levy on taxpayers.
In the elaborate halls of the exhibition building, a special sitting of State Parliament for the findings of the Mental Health Royal Commission.
The contributions we received left us in no doubt that the system had indeed failed and had been failing for decades.
The first of its kind in Australia, the Commission took 2 years and more than 12,000 submissions. It found Victoria's system is overwhelmed, over-reliant on medication and emergency departments, and reaching mental health patients too late.
It was a struggle every single time, trying to just get the help that I desperately needed.
In a 3,000-page report, the Commission advocates tearing up and transforming the system. Among the recommendations, setting up 95 new mental health facilities across the state, a new 24-hour telephone support service, 000 overhauled, with mental health calls diverted to ambulance officers instead of police. Restraint treatments will be scrapped and 500 new beds will be created for homeless young people suffering mental illness. There are 65 suggestions in total. The government will implement every one.
We don't know how much it will cost to implement these recommendations, only that a new levy or tax will be introduced to foot the bill. That's set to happen at the May budget, but could have a delayed start as Victorians are already suffering financially from the pandemic.
We do not believe there should be a tax or a levy to fund mental health.
We're all paying the cost of failure, and it is billions of dollars more than any levy.
Jodie Lee, 7 News.
Karen Rostevsky has been spared a final indignity at the hands of her killer husband. A new law will give the families of victims of crime the right to have a say on their loved one's final resting place.
On her gravestone, Karen Rostevsky is described as a devoted wife, the double headstone leaving enough room for the man who killed her. Husband Boris Rostevsky is serving a 13-year sentence for his wife's manslaughter, but he still demands to be buried alongside her. The thought tortured Ms Rostevsky's family, prompting new laws to be introduced to Parliament.
This is a common sense change, and one that I think will basically protect those families from being re-traumatised again.
Relief for Ms Rostevsky's brother Stephen, who's been fighting to stop his sister's killer being in control of her final resting place, telling 7 News no longer will perpetrators get to have the final say, as that belongs to the families of the victims who are left behind.
This is essentially about preventing offenders from having any decision-making rights to how a victim is buried.
It's not just welcomed news by Ms Rostevsky's family. The new law will be backdated to crimes going back to 2005, handing control to others who have lived through nightmares like murder-suicide.
The last thing I want is for families to be re-traumatised at the thought that the very person who saw their loved one die would be buried alongside or indeed in the same grave.
Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
There are fresh concerns for the health of Prince Philip tonight after he was moved to a cardiovascular hospital for heart tests. The 99-year-old has now been in hospital for a fortnight, being treated for an infection.
A delicate operation to move a high-profile patient. At the back of King Edward VII's hospital, guarded by police, staff used umbrellas to shield the Duke of Edinburgh from cameras as he was placed in the back of an ambulance. After 13 nights here, many suspected the Duke was heading home to Windsor Castle. Instead, the journey was brief, just 5 kilometres to St Bartholomew's, another London hospital. The palace confirming that is where doctors will continue to treat him for an infection, as well as undertake testing and observation for a pre-existing heart condition. Barts, as it's known, is Britain's oldest hospital, a centre of excellence for cardiac care. In 2011, Prince Philip was diagnosed with a blocked coronary artery and fitted with a stent after suffering chest pains at Sandringham. It's unclear if the current problem is related. But the Queen is successfully hiding any concern. A cheery monarch video calling the South Australian Premier to see a new statue of herself recently installed in the grounds of Government House.
Yes, I would think possibly it might be quite alarming to just suddenly see it out of the window. Gracious that she arrived, yeah.
Stoic and committed to duty even in the face of personal challenges.
And Sarah Greenhalgh is in London and joins us now. Sarah, the Prince has just spent his first night in the new hospital.
He has, Peter, and the official line from the palace is that the Duke remains comfortable and is responding to treatment. But royal insiders say the mood at Windsor Castle, where the Queen is still staying, that has certainly shifted. Barts here is home to the biggest specialised cardiovascular centre in Europe. Its doctors have the experience and expertise to give the 99-year-old the best possible care. The palace says Prince Philip will remain here until at least the end of the week, extending his overall stay in medical care to 3 weeks. Peter.
Sarah Greenhalgh in London, thank you. The West Australian border remains the only stumbling block for the start of the AFL season. Tim Watson, there are no guarantees here.
Mitch, it all hinges on Victoria's COVID numbers. Tom Brown has the details. And Tom, the AFL isn't getting any special treatment just yet.
They don't need it just at the moment, Tim. Round 1 is tracking in the right direction, was the official language I got from the league tonight. The AFL planning for round 1 as is at the moment. Now, WA, as you mentioned, is the crucial state. If there's no community transmission in Victoria, the next couple of weeks, they'll soften the border restrictions on March 13. That's just 5 days before the start of the season. It would allow Fremantle to travel to Victoria against the Demons.
If things change, we'll deal with it then. So at the moment, it's all systems go with the fixture was released, in December.
Tim, the AFL's got contingencies, a round 1 derby in WA, for example. They're used to shifting things around with the AFLW. They've been doing it recently. Gil McLachlan also commenting today on the controversial new rule change. The latest shortly in sport.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Tom. Also ahead in sport, why there are danger signs out of Geelong. Mitch, I'll see you again soon.
OK, Tim, thanks very much. Hoons are causing havoc in Melbourne's southeast. Next, 100 cars caught in a wild night. The big police operation to stop them from running wild on suburban streets. Also, Australians facing a new tax to fix our aged care crisis. Fishermen under fire, the backlash over a monster catch. And a little later, 2 special family reports helping children to catch up after the COVID classroom chaos, and health insurance set to rise. Choice reveals the best and worst deals.
Home, we are home. I want my children to be proud of me. Wherever your heart is, I'm home. I wanted to show my children that if an opportunity knocks, you open the door.
Can this single mum outrun a superhero? Go!
Oh my God!
Unbelievable! Ultimate Tag starts Sunday at 7 on 7.
Tired of that wreck in your yard?
Help is not far away with PS Car Removals, providing free vehicle removals in Darwin without all the hassle. Recycle and dispose your cars, vans, buses or trucks the right way with PS Car Removals.
Be part of it NT. Using the NT, protect yourselves against meningococcal B and potentially gonorrhea too.
By receiving your free vaccination.
Meningococcal B and gonorrhea can both have devastating health effects for you and your community.
If you are aged 14 to 19, you can receive your free vaccine through your school or community health clinic.
So be part of it, NT.
Check out the website for more details.
Looking to protect your home from the harsh territory sun? It's time to discover the Luxaflex difference by Dabsco. Discover our exclusive range of custom-made awnings for outside your home. Visit Dabsco's gallery showroom and discover the Luxaflex difference today.
Hunt & Hunt provides professional conveyancing services for clients looking to buy or sell commercial and residential properties.
We pay a great deal of individual attention to our clients and we endeavour to achieve the best possible and most cost-effective outcome.
If you're serious about buying a property and not just tapping on walls, the first place you should start is ANZ Buy Ready. You'll know how much a property could sell for, and you can start your home loan pre-approval application in just 5 minutes. So you're ready to make your move. Get on top of property buying with ANZ Buy Ready.
Hydro Australia, engineering solutions for improved pump life and performance, providing aftermarket servicing and on-site support for your pumps. Power, mining or general industry, Hydro Australia will help identify your problems and maximise the potential of your pumps.
Get the power of Tyre Power's massive Easter sale.
With a sweet offer from Toyo Tyres. Buy 3 selected Toyo passenger car SUV tyres and get 1 free.
Get the power.
Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent.
You'll be by my side through the lows and highs every single time. You'll be by my side.
Three men are facing charges after police swooped on a meeting of hoons in Melbourne's southeast. Locals have had enough of hundreds of cars descending on their neighbourhood to do burnouts.
Hoons and spectators stream into a Carrum Downs industrial estate. Unaware, police are closing in. As the smoke rises, officers reveal themselves and the lawbreakers flee. When we speed up this security footage, it reveals just how many cars were jammed in late last night. Police say it was about 100.
We'd actually been monitoring this group for some time, watching their progress.
They'd gathered earlier in Heatherton. Police got a tip-off and followed them to Carrum Downs.
Oh, it looks terrible. It looks awful. I've had flat tyres before.
Locals say it's a favourite spot for hoons.
I deliberately try not to drive down that particular stretch of road on a Monday morning because very often there's so much debris on the road. 3
people have been arrested so far, aged 18, 19 and 23.
One of the people already processed was doing 160 kilometres an hour in a 90 zone.
A few streets away in the same Carrum Downs Industrial Park, more scars from a hoon meeting. These from a couple of weeks ago. And this was in that spot last year.
We have a clear understanding of all the car registrations that were there last night. Those who are involved have not been spoken to already, can expect a knock on their door in the next few days.
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.
A driver has been charged with endangering life after a crash at Reservoir. Police spotted his car with false plates speeding through suburban streets around 10 o'clock. They found it crashed a short time later. The 37-year-old is facing multiple charges. The Morrison government is trying to come to terms with how to pay for aged care reforms after a damning royal commission. Tonight, no one is saying where the money will come from, but a new levy on taxpayers is one of the options on the table.
85-year-old Maureen O'Brien narrowly survived a coronavirus infection she picked up at Melbourne's Epping Gardens aged care home.
I could get so romantic.
A victim of a system the Royal Commission says is besieged with neglect.
A nightmare. I just wouldn't wish it upon anybody.
The final report making 148 recommendations to overhaul the sector. The problem now, how to pay for it. Even the commissioners are split. Linnell Briggs believes the government should fund it by increasing tax revenue. Tony Pagoni says that's not sustainable, favouring a Medicare-style approach. But both agree an aged care levy of between 2.6 and 5.4% has merit. The government and Labor non-committal.
We'll examine the proposals.
Care providers don't care where the money comes from, as long as it comes.
And as long as it's directed to allowing us to put better emphasis on the person we're caring for.
Critics say the additional $450 million committed by the government as an interim response is a start, but much, much more is needed.
We're not talking tens of millions, we need hundreds of millions, indeed billions, towards this problem.
There'll be more money to come as part of the budget.
But Donna O'Brien's not convinced that money will lead to change in her mum's lifetime.
Talk is cheap. You need to act, and you need to act quickly.
Rob Scott, 7 News.
Fishermen have received death threats after catching and killing an enormous tiger shark. They were taking part in a club competition near Sydney when they landed the 394-kilogram animal after a 45-minute struggle. Tiger sharks aren't protected in Australia, but there are growing calls for them to be listed as endangered. Jane Bunn joins us now. Jane, how long do the grey skies last?
Well, Mitch, this was just the first day. We're quite grey for the rest of the week. There was the occasional break, a hint of sunshine, but that didn't last long, returning to grey overhead. The cloud acts like a blanket at night, trapping the heat in. Then during the day, it blocks the sun's warmth. So the temperature doesn't change much from day to night. We started on 13 and only briefly reached 18. Not one suburb reached 20. 19 was the best we could do in a cool southerly wind. The grey sticks around for the rest of the week, but the weekend actually looks nice. It'll turn warm and sunny. The full details are after sport, Mitch.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jane. Apple is facing claims of exploding iPhones. Next, the tech giant is being sued by a Melbourne man. He says he was left scarred when his mobile caught fire. Also, the Reserve Bank makes a call on interest rates, the message for home buyers. A one-shot wonder vaccine starting to roll out as the US makes a frightening admission. And the latest toy trends put to the test.
The biggest drama of the year.
Two of the most baffling crimes
that had Britain captivated.
These two double murders are being reinvestigated.
We think one man did all 4 murders. If he did, he is a serial killer.
Based on the most extraordinary true story.
It's easy to frame an innocent man.
Cooper's been granted parole. Welcome home, love. What?
The year's most highly anticipated mystery event.
It's like a ticking time bomb. Men like him, they always kill again.
The Pembrokeshire Murders premieres tomorrow on 7.
Darwin Day Surgery. Why leave the territory for elective surgery? Darwin Day Surgery is private, confidential and stress-free. National quality and healthcare standards accredited. Call for a streamlined appointment. Darwin Day Surgery at Casuarina.
Head to Chemist Warehouse and save on big brands like Hair Again 5-month supply $77.99. Wagner men's or women's multi-bite $12.99. Any OptiSlim Platinum Plus Shake Pack $44.99. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
Oh look, we're old school. We're old school. We didn't do digital marketing. Now with the younger generation coming through and building the business for my family, we need digital marketing. With Local Search, they helped me, they guide me through the transition. We've gone from 1 vehicle to 18 vehicles on the road. They made life easy for us.
Head to the Troppo Pool Shop for complete pool services, pool equipment, cleaners,
free water testing, all at their new Yarrawonga home. Open 7 days. It's time to cool off, so visit us now.
Congratulations to the Territory's Young Achiever Award winners. Ebony Carpillo, Young Carers Award. Claire Chandler, Regional and Rural Initiative. Jack Gumbula, Aboriginal Educator. Madison Clonan, Agriculture Award. Joel Benicia, Innovation Award. Olivia Shields, Career Achievement. And Claire Chandler was named NT Young Achiever of the Year. The Young Achiever Awards are proudly supported by founding partner and prize patron TIO and 7 Darwin.
Okay, team. This week's Oz Lotto jackpot is dishing up more big Aussie fun than a country show.
Come and get it!
Tuck into Oz Lotto's $20 million jackpot this Tuesday.
Play now in-store at thelot.com or on the Lot app.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
New Swiss Tech by Sleepyhead, where elegance and comfort combine to give you a perfect sleep. And right now at Beds R Us, the Swiss Tech range is half price with silver service. Swiss Tech, half price and exclusive to Beds R Us.
Police are appealing for help to find a wanted sex offender. 36-year-old Robert Crilly hasn't been seen since December and is in breach of his reporting obligations.
Those obligations include contact with children and what telephone number he's using, and because he hasn't provided the correct details, police are now seeking him via a warrant for his arrest.
Investigators believe Crilly is currently living in the Shepparton area. The Reserve Bank has again decided to keep its official interest rate on hold at 0.1%. It's also flagged rates are unlikely to rise again until there's consistently low unemployment and wages growth. A Melbourne man is taking on tech giant Apple after being injured when his iPhone exploded in his pocket. Robert DeRose says he wants to warn the millions of people who own the device.
An iPhone bursts into flames, and again here, right in this man's face. A Melbourne scientist says a similar thing happened to him, and he's suing Apple.
I heard a faint pop sound, followed by a fizz, and then I felt intense pain on my right leg.
Robert DeRose grabbed his iPhone X out of his pants pocket. Black smoke was coming out of it. He suffered second-degree burns to his thigh.
So I had ash everywhere and my skin had peeled back.
The father of two said he reported the issue directly to Apple, but with no response, he's seeking compensation and wants to warn others.
We have another client who was using an iPhone watch, and that started overheating again and it burnt his wrist.
Samsung very famously, or infamously, a few years ago had some large overheating problems, in fact combustion problems.
The lawsuits have been filed with the county court and Apple will now prepare a defence. A company spokesperson said Apple takes customer safety extremely seriously.
They are made from parts made all over the world. There's bits from China, bits from Korea, and sometimes faults can occur.
Yasmin Payton, 7 News.
America's pandemic recovery may be stalling, with the number of COVID cases starting to increase again. The troubling new numbers add urgency to the distribution of a third vaccine.
America's great COVID sprint. On one side, the rush to vaccinate, including with the just-approved Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
We have 3 highly efficacious vaccines.
On the other side, variants, making the virus more contagious and states now relaxing restrictions.
I am really worried.
The head of America's Centres for Disease Control raises the alarm after falling COVID case numbers turned.
Infection numbers are inching up again.
Daily cases above 67,000, way below January's peak, but trending up. Daily deaths nearing 2,000, also up 2%.
We stand to completely lose the hard-earned ground we have gained.
It adds urgency to Juliet Watson's work, one of the first drivers to haul a load of Johnson & Johnson's new one-shot vaccine. It's now set to be in use within hours.
My mom is waiting on hers.
One senior American not waiting on a vaccine, Donald Trump. The office of the former president has confirmed he and then First Lady Melania were vaccinated while still in the White House in January, but chose not to publicise it. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to jail after he was found guilty of corruption. He was handed a 1-year jail term with a 2-year suspended sentence. President from 2007 to 2012, Sarkozy was convicted for attempting to bribe a judge. The 66-year-old maintains his innocence. For most of us, lockdown was far from being child's play, but it did mean a boom in toy sales. And now the next big things for little ones are going on show.
It's the industry event that draws thousands of toy lovers from all over the country. But this year, the Australian Toy Hobby and Licensing Fair had to be on a much smaller scale.
We take up 15,000 square metres. It takes us 3 days of moving, so this year it's online.
Instead of toy buyers and suppliers, these lucky kids were some of the only people to see the products in person. Among their picks for the best toys of 2021, this electronic storyteller...
Hi there, what should we listen to first?
And a giant bubble maker.
Whoa!
And in a year where kids were at home more than ever, the simplest toys still reigned supreme. Despite being just a few days shy of her 62nd birthday, Barbie took the crown for 2020 Product of the Year.
That value of play has still been important, and so you see still a lot of the Barbies and the Legos. Those types of toys are still quite popular with children, even though there is that turn to technology. I think getting the family together is what it's all about.
Estelle Greepink, 7 News.
Victoria's schools are racing to assist our children to catch up after the COVID chaos. Next, how they're helping students to recover on lost lessons. Also, controversial new bike lanes tested as workers return to the city. The small foam balls causing big problems in Little Bourke Street. And the cost of health insurance set to rise again. Choice reveals the best and worst deals for families. That's a little later.
It may not be a Harley, but it's not a push bike.
Hey, if you want a push bike, come see me.
With no brakes.
That's my brake right there.
No rego, and...
Have you got a licence to ride a motorbike?
He's in no end of trouble.
Yeah, you're getting a bit too technical there, bro.
All new Highway Patrol, tonight on 7.
Later, bro.
Looking for a skincare regime that lifts, firms and plumps skin? Try Dr. Lewin's Ultra R4 range from Chemist Warehouse. Enriched with high-performance collagen peptides, Ultra R4 day-night creams are clinically proven to visibly lift and firm skin in just 4 weeks. Rejuvenate, refine, replenish and restore skin for a radiant complexion. Dr. Lewin's Ultra R4 day and night creams are $37.47 each at Chemist Warehouse. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Do you want a closer view of the action? Whether you're a bird watcher, outback explorer, hunter or racegoer, see what you've been missing and get a front row view every time from your binocular and sport optics superstores, Camera House Darwin and Palmerston.
We're here for the road less travelled. And we're here for peak hour. We're here for the smooth, and we're here for the rough. And whatever else the Territory can throw at you. Literally. That's why we offer the option for no excess for 1 windscreen replacement and 2 windscreen repairs. Because we live here too. Yep. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Ratatouille Bistro at Nightcliff Sports Club. Enjoy delicious Tuesday schnitzel night. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday and Saturday, Lava Rock night. With our local courtesy bus at Nightcliff Sports Club for lunch and dinner.
Stop struggling with sore feet and tired, swollen legs and get the foldable, space-saving Power Pedi Foot Spa that helps relieve aches and tension in legs and feet. The secret is the 10 Hydro Flow Jets and 100 gentle vibrational massage columns that target pressure points of your feet for tension, aches and swelling. Just flick the switch for safely heated water and forget big, bulky foot baths. Stores in just 8 centimetres of space with foldable handle and non-slip feet. It's always ready to treat. Soften skin for dry and cracked heels. Save money on spa and salon visits and treat your feet now. Call 0293874100. Get to cleverrange.com.au. Get yours for just $99 and we'll give you the 5-piece professional pedi kit to remove dry, calloused, rough skin. Keep your feet fresh at home and save money. Plus the instant hand and feet relief ball for cooling, pressure and added feet relief. $70 in value. They're yours free. Get your Power Pedi Foot Spa. Nearly $70 worth of free gifts. Call now or go online and don't miss out.
There's a new trend as workers slowly start returning to city offices. More are heading back on 2 wheels rather than 4. The annual Super Tuesday bike audit, now underway, is recording an increase in bike traffic.
We are noticing more new riders potentially resetting their year and giving bike riding a go, as well as people of all ages getting out, making sure that they're getting the quickest and easiest way to get to work.
They say new bike lanes in the city are enticing people to ditch their cars. The market took a real hit today, but a popular milk brand bucked the trend. Time now for a check on the markets with finance editor Gemma Acton.
Thanks, Peter. We had a tale of two halves today, an enthusiastic start giving way to a sluggish end, the ASX 200 slipping down to 6,762 points. Gold producers were among the worst performers today, while A2 Milk recouped some of its losses after last week's steep sell-off. The Aussie dollar has weakened slightly following the Reserve Bank's comments that it remains committed to keeping rates lower for longer, while gold's recent slump continues. Meanwhile, despite no change today from the RBA, it's good to stop and remember just how far home loan rates have dropped, with fixed rates falling further in the past 2 years. Peter.
Gemma Acton reporting. Many parents are worried about the long-term impact of COVID-disrupted schooling on their child's future. With 1 million students now back in class, schools across the state have started an intensive catch-up program, helping those who've fallen behind.
Students across the state are playing classroom catch-up. After months of lockdown learning last year, more than 4,500 tutors are now in our schools, giving one-on-one attention to every child.
They're definitely very ready to take on some new learning, and I think a lot of them really miss school.
The rollout of Teachers as Tutors scheme is the biggest in the state's history.
We estimate it's about 200,000 students across Victoria will need that catch-up support.
Educators are especially concerned about the grade ones.
Well, last year they were in grade prep, and we were concerned here that without something like this tutoring program, those grade 1 kids might suffer a 13-year disadvantage.
The priority is children's mental health. They're identifying those struggling with schoolwork and boosting top performers.
They're very nice tutors. I think they're very kind. They walk around and help us.
The intensive tutoring program will run every day for the next 6 months, and it's hoped in that time every student will be back on track. Overseas evidence suggests small group assistance works wonders.
I think we can make a huge difference.
Jackie Quist, 7 News.
Some little balls have caused big problems after spilling in the city last night. It happened around 10 o'clock in Little Bourke Street. It appears a number of boxes fell from a forklift outside the Target store, sending the polystyrene packing beads into the street. Some of the material ran down into the drain system before it could be cleaned up. Sports next with Tim Watson, and Tim, the AFL boss, is pleading for patience, everybody.
Mitch, no surprises here. Gil McLachlan is a fan of the new rule being introduced. Hear what the Chief Executive has to say about the controversial rule change and why he said no to Essendon. We speak exclusively with the Geelong Star on why there's danger signs for the rest of the comp. Look who's back leaping again at the Pies, and the Aussies set to ring in the changes for tomorrow's T20. But is Aaron Finch safe?
The stars come together to celebrate Billy Connolly. A total twat. Hysterical, uncensored, and very naughty.
The stuff coming out my willy! He just had the charisma. Definitely was the first rock star of comedy.
Incontinence knickers.
Billy Connolly, it's been a pleasure. Premieres Wednesday, 7:30 on 7.
Now at Harvey Norman, experience everything audio from all the big brands. Save $80 on the Jabra Elite 65T True Wireless Earbuds, now $118. Save $50 on Ultimate Ears Boom 3 Portable Bluetooth Speaker, now $148. Sonos One SL Smart Speaker, just $225, save $40. And this awesome Samsung Q60T soundbar, just $485. Plus, get 60 months interest free with a bonus gift card. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go!
The Adding Value CFO, Accounting and Strategic Advice for Small Business. Michelle Bain looks beyond the numbers to understand your business now and into the future. Also offering training on popular accounting packages. The Adding Value CFO.
We've always done it tough in the Territory because tough always has to be done. And where the needs of many sometimes require the actions of one. As we head into the storm season, Power and Water is committed to doing what needs to be done, building and maintaining the engine room of the Territory, investing in our communities, and always focused on one thing: protecting what's truly precious. To protect your loved ones this storm season, visit powerwater.com.au/prepare.
Introducing new CrimSafe Classic with new CF6 screw clamp technology, reinforced with the incredible strength of carbon fibre. It bites down on the mesh on impact with a vice-like grip. At CrimSafe, we never sleep, so you can.
How good do they look?
I thought you loved your ute.
Yeah, it's not a Ram.
Yeah, looks great. Sounds even better.
Nice truck, mate.
The Ram 1500 Express Crew Cab is big on space, has a powerful V8 Hemi and up to 4.5 tonne towing. The Ram 1500 is unrivaled in every way. That's why our range of pickup trucks eats utes for breakfast.
Is your home crim safe? The next few months are NT's highest home break-in periods. Protect your property with CrimSafe, the strongest security screen on the market. Be CrimSafe. Call Dabsco now.
SPA, specialists in novated leasing for government, corporate and the not-for-profit sectors. With over 18 years in the industry and a large panel of lenders, our clients get the best solution for their situation. salpacoz.com.au.
Welcome back. Gil McLachlan has called for patience with the new man on the mark rule. Players are embracing it, fans already seem to hate it, but the AFL boss says it's been brought in with the best intentions for the game.
Queensland saved the 2020 season and the AFL boss looked happy to be back.
What's your ultimate goal for AFL in Queensland?
World domination. They are one of our favourite children. There's no child we love more than Queensland.
The league could still tweak the man on the mark rule, planning to monitor it this weekend. The AFL boss urging patience, explaining there are only 650s from 2,000 examples in last week's practice games.
I've been able to stand still pretty well for a lot longer than a few seconds. I think the scoring on the weekend was up on average by 2 goals a game. Now, I know it's first week in practice games. Visually, we had teams scoring over 120 points for the first time in a long time.
McLachlan liked the night grand final, but it doesn't mean it'll be the same this year. The Commission will make a formal decision later this month.
I think you're allowed to say that we were at the Gabba and it was a great event and not mean that it has all these other implications for the MCG this year.
The AFL rejecting the Bombers' informal request to move round 1 to the MCG. Essendon's still looking at it. They just want to accommodate more members.
There's huge knock-on consequences of moving games everywhere.
And Tim, the Bombers held a major planning meeting today, this afternoon. Officially, they do it every year. It's an annual off-site board and executive meeting. There's a bit more to it this year. Their new president, Paul Brash, has been busy canvassing, getting new ideas for the club. He's determined to see the Bombers bounce back to the successful club they were. They haven't won a final since 2004. The executives all presented. And Tim, the Bombers have also given officially Alec Waterman a contract. The former Eagle booted 4 goals in their practice game last week. It's a good story.
It is. Thanks, Tom. Geelong superstar Patrick Dangerfield has declared he's good to go for the season opener against the Crows. And so too, in an ominous warning to the rest of the competition, a new look forward line.
So much for Patrick Dangerfield being in doubt for round 1.
To be honest, progression's just been really good.
His recovery from groin soreness has come with a rush.
It's really been sort of the last 2 weeks has been a solid ramp. Before that, sort of a lot of groin strengthening work and all the, within reason, as much footy-based movement as possible.
Dangerfield played more game time than expected last Friday and will play on Saturday against Essendon.
Put up really well so far, so touch wood, that continues to happen.
The signs were ominous early in the opening scratch match. Dangerfield to Jeremy Cameron.
He does your job for you with when you kick into Jez, so we're pretty lucky to have him down there.
And Danger's doing little to douse excitement surrounding the Tom Hawkins-Cameron duo.
They're a pretty special 2-pronged attack, so it makes our job up the field easier. Just get it in there and they'll do the rest.
The Cats beautifully placed for another tilde to flag.
We're really happy with the summer that we put in, the conditioning of our players and the health and fitness of them. So, we've brought in 3 really experienced players who we think can make us even better than we were last year.
At Collingwood, Jeremy Howe stepped up his own bid to play in the season opener, testing his knee in full jumping mode for the first time since serious injury 9 months ago. Mark Stevens, 7 News.
The Aussies are backing struggling skipper Aaron Finch to thrive under the pressure in a do-or-die T20 clash with New Zealand in Wellington. Finch is stuck in a nightmare form slump at the moment, but coach Andrew McDonald insists critics are overreacting.
And we're still picking the best team that we think can win games for Australia. So we like the fact that T20 creates high pressure moments, and any exposure that anyone can get to these pressure situations against a quality team, which is New Zealand, is a huge bonus for us.
Trailing 2-0, the Aussies must win tomorrow to keep the 5-match series alive. Melbourne Victory players don't need to look far for motivation after the weekend's heartbreaking loss to Western United. They've got the local derby against City.
It's a proper rivalry and it's a game that we really want to win. And all the boys are up for it, even the new boys, that they understand it.
Saturday night's clash at Marvel Stadium will be their first game with crowd capacity lifted to just over 28,000. Mitch, and Aaron Finch needs a big innings.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
To build his confidence and the confidence around him too.
He's having a shocking run, isn't he? We wish him the best.
He's seeing it well. He's just going out at the moment.
Yeah, like Greg Chappell used to. Thank you, Tim. Families are being urged to take a closer look at their health insurance, with premiums set to rise again. Choice has put them to the test and found that you could be paying more for less.
Gold, silver, bronze and basic. Different tiers are supposed to indicate the cost and degree of health insurance cover. But with dozens of policies, you often pay more for less.
Consumers can get confused with the hospital insurance tiers. They might think that they're paying less for a silver policy when they find out that they're actually paying more than they might pay for a gold policy.
Choice found 73 bronze and bronze plus hospital insurance policies cost more and provide less than some silver policies. Worst bronze rip-offs: Frank Better Bronze, Phoenix Bronze Plus Care and Australian Unity Standard. 215 silver policies with restrictions cost more than the cheapest gold with full cover. $600 and in some cases $1,650 more. Among the worst silver policies: Frank, Australian Unity, CUA and Apia. But Choice says big funds offer poor value policies too, like Medibank, Bupa, HCF, NIB and HBF, all silver policies. With prices set to rise again on April the 1st, make sure your policy's not a rip-off and it's the right cover for your needs. Otherwise, switch. Go to our website for Choices report. Helen Wellings, 7 News.
Jane is next with the weather forecast. Jane, how does it look tomorrow?
Well, Mitch, there is more of these cool winds and grey skies, but there's sunshine on the horizon. It looks warm too. The details are next.
Tonight on the latest from 7 News, new twists. We're standing by for police updates during the evening around the Melissa Caddick mystery. Tributes for a legend. Hear from the stars who owe their careers to music mogul Michael Gudinski, and what Prince Philip's hospital move really means. We're live as London's Day kicks off. A lot happens after 7. Hope you can join me for the latest from 7 News tonight, 10:30.
Dr. Murphy! We are doing all that we can.
Prepare for the thrilling new season of The Good Doctor, tonight on 7.
Free-roaming cats kill more than 300 million native animals in Australia per year. Keeping your cat indoors will protect her from getting into fights with other cats and getting hit by a car. Indoor cats are healthier and live longer. Keep your cat inside your home. That's love.
There's an easy way you can boost your business, keep money in this community and help Australia thrive. Sounds too good to be true? Actually, it sounds like your local Channel 7 station. Advertising with us will help you easily access your customers, letting them know who you are and what you do, so they can help support you. We reach this community every day, and so can you. Advertise local. Head to sca.com.au/advertise local to find out more.
Has your jewellery lost its shine and stopped sparkling like the day you first bought it? And no matter how much you clean your glasses, they're always smudging and smearing? Then you'll love the all-new Clever Sonic, the quick clean machine that makes your bracelet shine and your rings sparkle. Keep your eyeglasses looking like new in just seconds, and it's so easy. Simply fill with warm water, add your jewellery or glasses, and like magic, you can see the dirt, dust, grease and the wax dissolve away with no scrubbing. The secret is in the Clever Sonic waves that use microscopic bubbles to create a gentle yet powerful scrubbing action to safely dislodge and remove the microscopic dirt, grease and dust from all surfaces, including deep pores and crevices. Dirty glasses make everything look blurred. 30 seconds in the Clever Sonic and it removes the hidden mess, cleans the frames and gives you incredibly clear lenses. Polishing paste and cleaning creams can build up and push more dirt into tiny cavities. Clever Sonic gets into the hard to reach places and is so effective you can see the dirt come out. Your watch strap is like a sponge, sweat, dirt and more. Add the watch band attachment and in seconds, Clever Sonic can make it look sparkling fresh and almost new again. Stop scrubbing, scratching and soaking and start shining the easy way. Call 029 387 4100. Get to cleverrange.com.au. Get your Sonic Quick Clean for just $79.95. In this TV only offer, you get not one, but two of our high quality polyamide microfiber lens cleaning cloths for that sparkling shine and finish to your glasses, phones and jewellery. Be one of the first 73 orders per state right now, and we'll also give you not one, but two pairs of our best-selling Zoom Vision hands-free magnifying glasses, including one pair with LED lights to see anything and everything you clean. Ultra bright and hands-free, it's the lighted magnifying eyewear that even makes threading a needle and reading the small print easy. $40 in value, they're yours free. What are you waiting for? Get your Sonic Quick Clean, your lens cleaning cloths and your Zoom Vision magnifying eyewear all for just $79.95. Call 029 387 4100. Get to cleverrange.com.au and don't miss out.
Territory Conveyancing Services takes the stress out of buying or selling property. Let Trish and the team guide you through process and paperwork. Residential, apartment, land or development transaction. Territory Conveyancing Service. Local service since 1997.
I missed you.
I missed you too, mate.
We are as parents. I think we should try and sort this out.
When you finally found something you've been missing, you'd do anything to keep it.
I'm ready.
Home and Away. Weeknights at 7 on 7.
Hello again. In Melbourne, we'll have little if any sunshine for the next 3 days. Then it warms up again on the weekend. We have a low cloud over us now, known as stratocumulus. So that's the type that looks quite grey and it blocks the sunlight, but it only produces light, drizzly showers. When we have this type of cloud, the temperature really doesn't move much. We started on 13 and only briefly reached 18. It is 16, 15 and a half out there now. That cloud stretches across much of southern Victoria. It's being pushed in on cool southerly winds. But the cloud stops at the ranges and it was a sunny day in the north. You can see that difference based on the minimum temperature. Clear and just 5 in Horsham, cloudy and 12 in Portland. A cyclone formed earlier today off the Queensland coast, set to strengthen into a severe cyclone, but the steering winds should push it away from the coast along this white path through here. We have a high that is back over to our west. That'll stay there for the rest of the week. That means the winds are southerly tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. It stays generally cloudy in the south and cool. Top temperatures in the teens or 20 and low to mid-20s in the north. A front clips us early on Friday, but it only adds up to a millimetre or 2. And there's nothing for northern Victoria, not in this type of weather pattern. Then that pattern changes. The high moves through on the weekend and we warm up. It jumps up about 10 degrees. On Sunday, high 20s in the south, low to mid-30s in the north. Around the nation tomorrow, the cyclone should strengthen off the coast, but bringing rain, damaging winds and huge tides to the Cairns area. There is an early shower in Sydney, then cloudy and cool tomorrow. Sunshine for Adelaide. Brisbane has a severe storm overhead right now and could see another one there tomorrow. Perth also has the risk of thunderstorms. To Victoria, southern parts have another cool and mostly cloudy day. There's some light showers or drizzle, mainly in elevated or exposed parts. The north, mild and sunny in moderate to breezy southerly winds. Closer inland sits another mostly grey day. A cool southerly wind, only small breaks of sunshine. So that makes it quite cool. But Geelong and Phillip Island could briefly reach 20. The city is mostly cloudy. There's the chance of brief drizzle at times. It should be dry for most of the day. It is another top of just 18. To the 8-day outlook, Thursday could reach 21. There's a hint of sunshine in the morning. Then that cloud thickens again in the afternoon and expect lots of drizzly showers in the evening on Thursday. So the temperature back down on Friday, just a top of 18 again. Drizzle in the morning, turning dry but cloudy. A stark difference on the weekend. Bright sunshine. Temperatures rise to 29 on Sunday. There's a late cool change, so we're back to cool and grey to start next week. It is mostly cloudy for the rest of the week. We're just 18 tomorrow. But the weekend, it certainly does look quite nice out there, Mitch.
Overall, a pretty cool start to autumn for us.
It is indeed. Just these days here, but the weekend, that'll feel like summer.
Hopefully. Thank you very much indeed, Jane. And here's what's on Sunrise tomorrow.
Thanks, Mitch. When you wake up, the expert tips to paying down your home loan.
As mortgage deferrals end, we'll show you how to start making payments without the stress. See you in the morning, Melbourne.
Thanks, Koshy and Sam. And that's the way it is this Tuesday, the 2nd of March. Thanks for your company. For now, from the 7 News team, good night.